just think it's the greatest looking car I've ever seen.
Today we're going back to the golden era of muscle cars with this 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. You got to remember, you got to put yourself back in that time, that late 60s up to 1971, really being the pinnacle of the muscle car production. Everyone's trying to outdo each other with horsepower, torque, displacement, and of course, outlandish looks. So we just got in this beautifully restored 1970 Hemi Cuda. This car ticks all the boxes. One, awesome restoration. I'll show you guys the quality on this thing. Two, ultra rare. I mean, everyone always says they look at all their combinations and they say one of one, but super rare to have an original engine, original drivetrain, all original panels. You know, you got the original broadcast sheet and a factory red car with the chrome luggage rack. Pretty rare optioned car. Not to mention, you're starting out with pretty low numbers of Hemi Cudas in 1970. 652 cars built, you know, 380 some odd automatics, and then you add the red. This is just a striking car. So when you're looking at one of these cars at a show, whatever, you want to quickly see if it's a real Hemi car. You look at the VIN tag here, and the 5th number or digit is an R. That means, you know, it came from the factory as a Hemi car. And there's a handful of other items that give it away as a Hemi car that came on the Hemis, as opposed to say just a, you know, a 440. First thing you notice here, you open up the hood, just the quality of the restoration. Paint's beautiful. Again, probably nicer than when it left the factory. A couple items on the Hemi cars here. You've got the unique brake booster that was specific to the Hemi cars. Well, you look here, you've got your 2 tags. You've got the second tag here, Hemi fender. That means the car is a little bit of a later car. Of course, the Hemi cars come with the N96, the shaker, but what's unique on these rally red cars is that the shaker was the body color. All the other colors, you get the organosol shaker, but with the rally red car, you get it body colored, really giving this car a unique look with the red options. So again, on the Hemi cars, if you look under here, the K member is a little bit different on these things. If you just peek your head underneath, you can see the big K member, you know, big and beefy to reinforce the front end here. Again, adding to the look of this car, adding to the red theme, is the elastomeric rubber bumpers, front and rear, not the chrome bumpers, but again, body colored. And on this car, beautifully restored, really adding to that red theme we've got going on here. So really what makes these cars so special, obviously, is the Hemi. The big 426 cubic inch V8, you know, stated 425 horsepower. We all know it was a lot more. 490 foot-pounds of torque. You were buying this car back in the day with the anticipation that you had the baddest car on the street or the baddest car lining up to a light on Saturday night in the quarter-mile drag race. So right around half of these cars being automatics, the option, the A727 torque flight, the auto transmission, and this car with the 9 3/4 Dana rear end. Again, all factory, all numbers matching. That's what makes this car so special, is your numbers matching engine, your numbers matching drivetrain, your numbers matching body panels, and it being a factory red car with the chrome luggage rack. So it's funny, this car with the chrome luggage rack is now, you know, a pretty unique option. Not a lot of people got it. You have a quick glance at it, kind of reminds you of the luggage rack on a C3 Corvette. And again, back in the day, you were buying this car as a hot rodder or, you know, a guy going street racing, or because you saw the Trans Am series and Dan Gurney running the AAR, the 340 cubic inch car. And, you know, you wanted the big dog version. So not a lot of people would have got this luggage rack, but in today's collector market, all those little items that make cars rare, this is certainly one of them. A pretty rare option to have ordered from the factory. Having a look at the rear end here, you know, if you take the time to appreciate the styling and really look at it, pretty slick looking rear end of the car. You've kind of got the sunken bumper here with the big body panel here. You know, looks pretty good from an aero perspective. You've got that hidden away exhaust. Of course, you've got the Cuda badge here and those Plymouth tail lights. I mean, there's not many angles on these cars that don't look good, but yeah, great looking rear end on this car. With these ultra rare cars, you know, everyone's got a one of one, and I almost don't want to say it, but yeah, again, probably a one of one with the red with the luggage rack. However you slice it, super rare combination here. Beautiful looking car. You can almost bet that you're going to be the only guy you see driving around in a red Hemi Cuda. You get in one of these cars, pretty simple interior, but again, you've always got to put yourself back in the day, back in 1970. You know, how you'd feel sitting here, looking over that big shaker hood for the first time, seeing that left hood pin, just knowing you were in a monster. So looking at the interior, you've got the H6 red bucket seats. Just from today's standards, again, a wild interior, completely red. Great looking gauge cluster. You know, you got your tach front and center. That's what you're gonna be looking at in this car. All the way up to 8,000 RPM. Your speedometer up to 150 miles an hour. You've got your clock, and then on the outside, pretty neat, you've kind of got your 60-second chrono here. You'll notice here in big white letters, rear speaker. You look back, and of course you've got your rear speakers there. Pretty spacious back seat for, you know, the peak of muscle cars. And then of course you've got your shoulder belts all tucked up here on both sides. Of course you've got your ashtray, your cigarette lighter. And then down here you've got your vents. You can hear it open and shut. The passenger and driver's vents. If you look in here and I pull it, opens up a little bit of venting here. Let a little bit of fresh air in. Flush all that cigarette smoke out of this thing. Oh, that's good. Just such a nice growl. You can see the shaker just moving as it vibrates. Yeah, firing up a Hemi Cuda, that's gonna put a smile on your face. So I'll show you guys some of the paperwork here. What's nice on this car is you have a Galen report. Galen Govier, being one of the experts on these things, goes through and verifies everything. So the previous owner hired Galen, give him a Galen report, and what's nice is you get all this stuff verifying. You know, we'll go through it here a little bit. So he does, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 condition, everything here being, you know, 1 or 2 condition, meaning the best. You go through everything here, he goes through body and paint, you know, the chrome in the glass, the interior, the seats, all the options here, H6 red seats, engine, you know, the optional 426 cubic inch, 425 horsepower Hemi, and then gives you an absolutely comprehensive report with all the options from back in the day. And then you can cross-reference that to the original broadcast sheet here that would have been under the seat from the factory with all the numbers and all the options on this thing. So now we've got to ask ourselves the question, do you need a car like this? Well, no. No one needs a factory red 1970 Hemi Cuda, original engine, original drivetrain with the chrome luggage rack. No, you don't need a car like this. But do you want a car like this? Oh man. If you at all appreciate muscle cars, you definitely want a car like this. If you want to see more car content like this, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to visit our website to explore our curated inventory of luxury, classic, and investment grade cars.